Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Rush Racing pre-season number 2. Obviously, one of one at the moment, but is pre-season number 2. We are back at the Interlagos circuit. This time, it is Division 2, maybe with a combined of a few Division 3 drivers as well, but mostly Division 2. Only 17 on the grid tonight, so there is still 4 seats. Sorry, 18, 19, 20. There's still 3 seats open, so please feel free to message Rekus if you are a Division 2 or Division 3 driver only, then you can jump in via Quali. Rekus, it's great to have you back after a great Christmas and a great New Year. We are now into January 2026, and now we are also into Season 10 of Rush.
Indeed, SJ. Yeah, it really feels like the new year kind of snuck up on us, hasn't it? 2025 was such an amazing year. Season 8, Season 9, absolutely fantastic seasons. And I'm ready for another fantastic season. We're at a very good track that has delivered a lot of action last season, both in preseason and in regular season. The Sao Paulo circuit is one of the best circuits in F125 when it comes to overtaking, so we can expect a lot of overtaking here once we actually get into the Grand Prix.
Yeah, no, definitely. You are right. Obviously, we did see some very, very good times yesterday in the Division 1 pre-season race. Remember, there is 3 more to go. You've obviously got Division 4 tomorrow on the Monday, and then Division 3 on the Wednesday, and then obviously Division 5 on the Tuesday, and that will finish off our first week of pre-season at the Interlagos circuit. What do you think we're going to see here? What do you want to see here tonight from most of the guys?
I mean, honestly, I think driving clean is going to be a big one because you can have all the pace in the world, but if you're constantly colliding with other drivers and, more crucially, colliding with your teammate, then that's not going to be really an attractive prospect to team principals. So I think for these drivers' sakes, because they are trying to make themselves seem as appealing as possible before the draft coming up here in a little under 2 weeks from now. So they want to impress their team principal with their pace, but also racecraft. I think racecraft is going to be another huge factor. So I want to see a hard race, but I want to see a clean race as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be very interesting to see who is going to shine. Only 17 on the grid tonight, but it's still good numbers to work out who is or what TP is going to draft who. And also talking about TPs, there's a few on the grid tonight, so this will be very bit of an excitement for them to see. Basically at first POV of who they want on their team. So we'll run you through who we've got on the grid. We are expecting an interview with a TP, so hopefully he does wake up and does jump into the comms box. Or if not, if any of the other TPs out there feel free that want to jump into the comms box, then let myself or Rekus know in the chat, and we'll bring you in for an interview and see what you think of the draft, on which we will take you away with later on, and Rekus will probably have a few questions regarding the draft order. But let's go through the grid order tonight. We've got Sixth Party, the Kick TP for Season 10. What will he do tonight? What will he do in the race? We'll have to wait and see. And what is he going to be up his sleeve tonight? We've also got his brother as well down there in P4, which I'll jump on in a second. We've got Dr. Mitz in the McLaren tonight. Brian Chirel, a new driver to the Rush family, has done quite a few races with us for the time being, so he'll be pushing himself to the limit to prove himself tonight. Then we have the Battle of the Brothers, the first time in Rush's history we've ever seen this. Is the TP of Ferrari, Lamb. And will he be able to do even better than he done last season? Unfortunately, just missing out there to Aston Martin. What can he do this season in Season 10? We then go over to Echo in the McLaren, who has shown some serious pace. Great to see him back on the track. We've seen him drive before. We know what he's like. Daniel T as well, showing what he can do tonight in that Haas. We then got Toast in the Red Bull, Gangster in the Mercedes, Wintercat hosting for us tonight. Really appreciate that from Winter 2 nights in a row, so really do appreciate that. Wreck-It Raf in the Haas as well. Will he show that consistency that he showed last season? We'll have to wait and see. Jarabot will be His first time in Rush, but not in a full-time seat. He has dropped to reserve, but things could change in a matter of minutes. We'll have to wait and see there, but we'll have to see how he goes in the race. Aben, unfortunately, is not full-time. He has dropped to reserve as well, so he is going to be one to watch, but one, unfortunately, is going to miss out unless things do change yet again. We're going a little bit further down. We've got Nishka there as well from Div 3, reserving up tonight, giving Div 2 a go and seeing how he does. 108.087, very impressive lap from him. Cooper Trooper, known as Cooperbot, in that Ferrari. Symphonic, the TP of VCAB. He's done quite a lot of trial races, so we'll have to wait and see what we can see tonight from him. We've then got Ricardo, the other Aston Martin nemesis from last season, and then we've also got Wogjet. That is your grid tonight, Rekus.
Yeah, pretty stacked grid here tonight, SJ. I'll be curious to see how these drivers do here tonight. A majority of them are trying to impress the team principals, and like you mentioned, we actually have a TP on track here at the moment, and we have another driver who has just joined the session. So the number will jump up to 18 cars on track as Tudor has joined the session here in quali. It's one qualifying session, so you'll be able to at least show the TPs your qualifying pace. So I know Sick Party actually is the best in the house when it comes to quality times, because he can just see where everybody is and just see the times of the drivers currently in the session. A pretty good spread here so far. Only about 1.6 seconds separates the entire field, but with the exception of Jordan Sears, everybody else is within a second of Toast's time. They're up at the front with a 108.043. I mean, there's actually the top 5 cars are separated by less than a tenth of a second. And we know Div 2 has always been a very epic division. It's always been a very action-packed, very strong, good races, good battles. And I think even in preseason with no points on the line whatsoever, and they're really only just trying to vie to get the attention of team principals, we're still going to see an absolute banger of a race on an absolute banger of a track here, SJ.
Yeah, definitely, and we should be seeing Bread. So if you could send him an invite, that would be amazing as well. If you could get Bread in, that would be awesome, as he will be making an appearance as well. So if you've got him, Rekus, if you could send him an invite, mate, that would be amazing. But while Rekus is doing that, we will jump on board on outlap of Sick Party, the Kick TP himself. Oblivion in the chat, mate. Welcome to the stream, mate. Hope you had a great Christmas and a great New Year. Thank you very much for your loyal support. Unfortunately, we will not be seeing the reigning champion from Division 2. This is his division. Will not be seeing him on the grid this season. Really a shame there. So, but good to see you in the chat and supporting the cause there. We've got 2 Sick Parties as well, which has been interesting. What's going on there? So it might be a bit of a glitch. I don't know if we are going to have to red flag it or not. We'll have to look into that. But, are you alright, Rekus?
I was gonna say I don't see two Sick Parties, so I think it might just be a bit of a visual bug. And who am I inviting again?
Red.
Got it.
Awesome. Okay. All right. I might be. Tudor. Okay, that's interesting. All right, well, we go into Sick Party. He is coming down into Sector 2. Now, a little bit of traffic in front. Let's see how he does coming up to the hill there. Dropping onto 100 into the 50. Keeping it nice and tight coming up the hill. Remember, elevation in Brazil is all over the place. It's up and down, especially in that Sector 2 area and Sector 3. When you're going up the hill, then down the hill. Very, very nice so far. 63% of the ERS at the moment. Keeping it nice and tight on the left hand side there, very, very nicely done. Now coming round into the last couple of corners before we get on to the third part of this track with the DRS zone. Very powerful, no toe there. You may get a little bit of a toe there from the RC in front, but let's have a look from Sick Party. 30% going to cross the line. What's it going to be for the TP of Kick? Crosses the line, goes P11 with a 108.338 so far. Rekus, who do you want to jump on board with for a flyer?
I know that, let's see, who do we got? Who's close? I know, actually, let's go on board with the new guy, Brian, who's just going through the first couple of corners. Alright, so Brian, if we're on board, Brian is making his way down the first DRS zone as Jerabot sets the new best time of the session. Now he's going through the rest of Sector 1, now into Sector 2. Now this is really the only part of the track where it's super difficult to make overtakes because you have a lot of tight and twisty corners coming through here. Good amount of elevation change, and actually I think Brian has just backed out of that lap that he was on.
Okay, all right. We're going to jump on board with someone else for another fly. We're going to jump on board with Cooper Trooper, so I'll let you take him away in the Ferrari. Over to you, Rex.
Alright, so he's going to go ahead and make his way through turn number 1. And now turn number 2, the Senna S is here before he goes onto the first DRS zone of the circuit. And he's going to go ahead and burn the battery all the way down the straight, reaching speeds of up to over 200 miles an hour as he goes into the nice left-handers of turns 4 and 5. Now making his way up to the very tight and technical part of the circuit. Not a lot of room to overtake here, but this is also the part of the lap that can really make or break your lap time here. He's going to have a little bit of dirty air, and he gets past the Haas with 0 issues. And now, after this next corner, it's basically just about flat out from here on. So he's going to go ahead and get going. He's about 15 hundredths of a second off of his personal best. He needed a crucially good exit out of the corner. DRS is going to be wide open. The battery is going to get burned. Does he improve? He improves his time, but not his position. Only 12 hundredths of a second of an improvement for Cooper Trooper.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate that at the moment. Jerabot 107.837 taking that pole position at the moment. And really, really good start from him. And we are seeing some times there. Only 3 guys at the moment in the 107s here at Brazil. So showing some serious pace like we saw yesterday in the Division 1 and Division 2 pre-season race. So far, so good at the moment. And let's have a look. Who else do we have on board of at the moment? We've got Wintercat in that Mercedes. We'll jump on board with him in the Mercedes to see what he can do. But so far, only 3 drivers currently wreck us in the 107s.
Yeah, the times have spread out quite a bit, but still, everybody is with it almost, with the exception of Jordan Sears down at P18. Everybody is within a second of the pole time set by Jerabot in the Sauber. So it's a very competitive session here tonight. And this track is pretty well rubbered in. But, I mean, with every other season, we know that it's usually about the final 2 to 3 minutes where the track gets hectic, the track gets busy, but also the track is at its best in terms of grip. A good amount of rubber has been put down, and this is a singular qualifying session, so it won't be a 3-stage qualifying like you see during the regular season. It is just one qualifying session, sets the entirety of our 18-car grid here tonight. So, and Wintercat is actually just invalidated, so definitely not the lap he would have wanted. It can be pretty easy to invalidate here because you carry so much momentum into a lot of these corners that it doesn't take a whole lot to just get just over that white line and to set your track red. So that may come to bite a few drivers as we get ready for our final runs here in Q1.
Yes, it's going to be very, very exciting to see what happens here as we've got quite a few guys still on those 8s at the moment. So P4 all the way down to P18 wreckers are all in the 8s. There's only 3 guys in the 7s at the moment. And after that invalidation from Wintercat, he has not managed to put himself into the 7s as well. But it looks like he will be going again on this lap just about to start. So we'll jump on board with him again and see if he can get it right again. Still trying to get in. Got the horrid communication there, unfortunately for Brad. He's having problems to get in at the moment. That's right. I'm just might have accidentally invited someone by accident. My fault. Okay, but we'll continue on. Wintercat coming down the first part of the DRS, 49%. Let's see how he does it this time. Gaz keeps it in with track limits. Very, very good to see there. Now, so far, so good. He has set a time, so we will see an interval of heat time being made or lost. We'll have to wait and see coming into the sector 2. Now into the lovely tight corner of that sector 2 area. 54% on the ERS so far. Wintercat not having the best of nights last night, so he's going to have another night tonight. This will be his true division, so we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Bread is in the lobby, ladies and gentlemen, so that's good to see. We've got the Alpine TP in here as well, so we've got quite a few of TPs. He's up on his time though, not by much. Will he be able to put it into the 70s? Here we go, into the last couple of corners before hanging on to the main straight with the DRS. 19%, 15%, down past under 10, crossing that line. 108, 0.002, not into the 7s, but he is behind his teammate of Gangster Records. Not a bad time there for Winter.
Yeah, not a bad time at all. Very close to his teammate for the night. So, and I mean, that's another thing too, is you want to have a driver that's going to be close to their teammate. So getting drivers who are relatively close in pace could be very good, because while they may not exactly get the wins constantly, the fact that they are consistent and pretty high up in the points it'll do numbers for the in-division constructors and then the overalls later on. So you want to see two teammates that are pretty close in pace. And I think if Wintercat and Gangster were picked up for Mercedes, I think that's exactly what they'd get, because those two are really close. But Reiko Ralph is still showing that consistency as well. So we have a lot of drivers putting in some mighty fine lap times. But the pressure is really on Breadman right now, because Breadman needs to get a time in. He's going to have like one shot to get a good lap in, as it is the final 2 minutes of qualifying here, less than that now. So everybody's going to get maybe 1 or 2 laps in at most.
Yeah, no, definitely. And who are we going to jump on board with for that? Do you pick a driver? You've got plenty of options, so over to you.
I think we should go with Breadman, because it'll be his first and really only lap that he'll get here tonight.
Okay, all right. Well, over to you, mate. I will leave it to it, as Echo does do a 107.738 and goes pole position. So we've now got 5 guys in the 7s. Will Wintercat or Toast or Lamb or Symphonic there, as we've got Symphonic and Ryan both got the same time there, 108.058, 108.058. So much, nothing in it between Nishka and Symphonic and Lamb, so we'll have to wait and see. Over to you though, Rekis, on board Bread for his final lap of the night.
Alright, so Breadman, he's got one shot to make this count, so we'll see if he can make it count here. He's going to go ahead and fire things up, going through these center S's there. Touches a little bit of the grass there, but he's using a good amount of the curb, keeping it steady, using a good amount of battery as he enters the first of 2 DRS zones, getting up to about 207 miles an hour. Going a bit wide there, using a good amount of the runoff and the rumble strips. And I was going to go ahead. He's going to get a little bit of dirty air, and it's invalidated. So just got a bit too much over the line, and his time is done. I can promise you he's not too happy about that Mercedes being just ahead of him. But that is qualifying done, and Breadman, 1 fortune start from the back of the grid.
Thank you very much, Regis. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there for Bread, as Ryan Adair, known as Lamb, into pole position with a 107.618. We've got a Alpine, and we've also got a Mercedes Lamb invalidated as well. Winter, sorry, he's done. Who else we've got here? We've got a Alpine of Brian. He's coming across the line. He is in P15. No, he's going into the pits. He's done. Who else have we got coming across the line? I'm trying to keep up. It's trying to difficult to keep up. We've got Gangster into P5, Toast into P2, Echo into P3. We've got a kick coming around the lines as well now of Jerabot. What's it going to be for Jerabot? He is at 11% ERS. Is he going to be able to put it into the top 3? No, he puts it into the pits. We've got another driver coming across the line of Nishka. What's it going to be for Nishka? Can he improve? No, he stays P12. We've got a Red Bull now. What are they going to do? We've got... No, that is it. Job done. Sorry. And that was not Red Bull. It was VCARB. See, it's the same bloody colour as VCARB and Red Bull. Annoying. That is qualifying done and dusted, Rekas. And Lamb, he tops the charts with a 107.618. That means 9 cars in the 107s. Winter did not manage to get an improvement on that time and get into the 107s. So that is qualifying done. Thoughts, Rekas?
That was a very good qualifying session. Ryan Adair winning the Battle of the Brothers, taking the pole position for Ferrari, and he did set a very nice time there. Only 56 hundredths of a second, so a very good lap time there indeed. As we go through our qualifying order, it is Ryan Adair to Hashtag to Formula Echo with our top 3. That is Jeribot, Symphonic, Gangster, Koopa Troopa, Rico Ralph, Ricciardo XR, Wintercat, Daniel T, Nishka, Aben, Sick Party, Brian Terrell, Cristiano, Jordan Sears, Tudor, and then Breadman, who invalidated on his only lap that he was able to get. But qualifying is one thing, but as we've seen time and time again, SJ, the race can totally flip the script at any point.
Yeah, definitely, especially into turn 1. Obviously, you've already got to time it. Well, if you are going to take the lead there, it's going to be very interesting to see how Lamb is going to go into that turn number 1 as well. Remember, don't forget, we've got our timers coming up on the stream as well this season. Pagnian for another season of Season 10 jumping on board. We've also got the affiliate this season of SRC, so if you're needing setups going into the season, then feel free to jump in and use the code in the comments. And also, we do have, obviously, SimLab as well, and looking at another sponsor coming on at the horizon as well, so keep an eye out for that. This is going to be very exciting. We're looking forward to seeing it. SRC are the bomb. Yes, they are, Keeper. If you are needing the setups, mate, use that code. We're happy to help you guys out as much as we can. Some of the setups are good. Some of them may not be to what you need, but there's always opportunity for others as well. Rekas, I'm going to let you take away the first pre-season of Division 2 combined with Division 3. Over to you, my friend.
All right, thank you, SJ. As we're loading in here, we have those 5 red lights going on. And it is lights out and away we go here in Sao Paulo. And things are already getting spicy. Ryan Adair had a very rough start. He has dropped down to 3rd position. See potentially a few airplanes. Oh, there's a big spin there. Aben got punted around. Oh, sorry, no, Ricciardo was the one who got punted around there. Spinning round and round like a merry-go-round. And if you're wanting to join Aston Martin, punting their TP isn't exactly the brightest idea. But that is racing on lap 1. Still a bit of drama here. As you do have Cristiano weaving around the straight there just before the really twisted technical part. And Wintercat has gone way off the track. He went very wide there in Sector 2, and now he's battling it out tooth and nail with Brennan, who's already made up a few positions, looking to maybe make up another one onto Wintercat. Yeah, this has been a pretty action-packed first lap, and oh, Wintercat's off again.
It's a very, very interesting rejoin there from the Mercedes of Wintercat. He's having problems already, but going up to the front there, we got Toast leading the way. He's got the job done, and as you did say, Lamb down into P3, so he's lost 2 spots there. It's a little bit slow off the mark there, and Toast is on his way. Jeribot in that P2, then Lamb, then Echo in a Ferrari sandwich. He's got Ryan in front and Koopa Troopa behind. Gangster in that P6, Raph in P7. Nishka looking to make a move on those soft compound tyres. The question is, how long are those softs going to be able to go on for? Is that the strategy you want to go? We did see Dido do it yesterday, but it didn't work at the later stages of the race. Well, we'll have to go further down there. We got Daniel T as well, so we got Williams in a house sandwich as well with Raph and Daniel T in the middle of Nishka. Sick Bunny in that P10, Symphonic in P11 on yellows at the back. Jordan Sears on those hards at the back. Battles going on here between Tudor and Symphonic. And we then got Aben as well as getting involved in that. With a nice little three-way fight there between the two V-Cabs as well. The same V-Cabs going at it. Lovely to see Symphonic and TP out in front. And then we got Aben in at P2. And then we got Tudor going side by side with Bread. And there we go. Bread nicks that spot. No, Tudor keeps him behind. Wintercat in that P15. Brian Terrell in P15. Now up into P16. No, P15. And then we got Wintercat P16, Ricardo P17, Wogjet in P18, and Jordan Sears in P19. A lot of drama, a lot of action. Early stages already on lap 3 out of 25 race.
Exactly. I mean, there's so much at stake for a lot of these drivers. They want to get a full-time seat to one of these teams here this season, and this is pretty much for Div 2 and a little bit of Div 3. This is really your best proving ground, so you really want to try to have as good of a result here tonight as you possibly can. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of a disappointing season if you can only manage to pick up a reserve role with one of these teams. But these drivers are fighting for these positions, fighting for these seats coming up here with the draft. And I mean, and here's another thing too about the schedule is that pretty much right after the draft, we just jump straight into the season. So these guys have pretty much got to go ahead and just focus up and lock in and try to get the most out of tonight so they can get the most out of the draft.
Yeah, no, you're right. Obviously, very, very quick straight after the draft, like you did say. And then it's racing. So not really going to have time to introduce and then to do an introduction from the TPs. It's literally straight to business. Get those setups, get those practices in as soon as possible, and then straight to Monza for round number 1. So yeah, going to be exciting here. Obviously, we do have one more preseason race, which is next week, Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, which will be Abu Dhabi. So straight after this, check-in will go out straight away. So if you have not made it and you are going to be able to make it, please get yourself checked in. Remember, we have said so many times, if you are still not too sure about being a full-time driver, then we need to know as soon as possible so that we can make decisions and make the changes needed for you to be eligible for the draft. If you're not eligible for the draft, you will not be picked, and that means a reserve driver is all you're going to get. So, which means you do have the open possibility of driving for any team when there is a seat available. Or if you want to test yourself in the draft and you want to give yourself a go and also eligible for the prize pool, then feel free to jump on board and get a full-time seat. And we'd love to have you on board for the draft. But a nice little battle going in between Toast and Jerabot as Jerabot has taken the lead. Toast down into P2. Ryan Adair keeping in that P3. The question is this season, Reckons, Ryan has obviously got some serious pace. Can he keep out in the front though? We've seen him get into a few kerfuffles, a few incidents, you know, a few penalties. Looking good so far on this preseason race. He's in P3. His teammate currently in Cooper Troop is in P5. Can he be one to watch out for this season?
I mean, Ryan has always been one of those drivers where you can never truly count him out. We saw this back in season 8, season 7 even. We have seen Ryan put in some really good performances. I mean, yeah, if he can keep his nose clean, he'll definitely be a top prospect to really keep an eye on as the season does progress. He's got the raw speed, the racecraft, and just accident avoidance. I mean, some drivers just really struggle with accident avoidance, so if he can keep the end plates on his car and not damage his front wing or get into any fights that he doesn't really need to be in, he's got the pace to be a real serious contender here this season. I mean, he did lose a good amount of places at the start. He lost one to Jerabot, who's up 3 positions, and then Toast. But he's pretty much staying right with them. They're not exactly losing him at this stage, but once again, I mean, having pace is one thing, but using the pace while not getting into needless scuffles with other drivers is a completely separate thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely. As we are seeing quite a big DRS train from P1 all the way down to P7 currently, and then P8 all the way down from there. Sick Bunny has left the position. Hopefully we can get him back in. His car's going to go AI, not in the worst, probably one of the worst places you want to be there. That's really unfortunate. So Sick Bunny is out of this race for the time being. So Reckless will try and get him an invite as soon as possible. We're seeing Nishka, Aben and Symphonic. They're having a nice little battle. Nice little battles going on all over the track as well, which is really, really good to see. We've got Cooper Trooper on those hards. He's decided to start on those hards. Same with Jordan Sears down there in P19. So we'll wait and see there. Sick Bunny will fell. A little bit of a snap there as Cooper Trooper and Formula Echo have a little bit of a tit for tat there, but one of them has got a penalty, so that's a bit unfortunate there for Cooper Trooper. But so far so good. Some great racing by these guys, very, very close. And the question is Nishka going to be able to get to the back of Daniel T and try and get the move done? Although Soft's going to go off 6 laps at the moment to those mediums, and he's staying with the pack. He's 1.4 in front of Aben, but Aben is coming, and he's going to be bringing a lot of cars with him. He's going to bring 2 V cabs of Symphonic and Tudor as well. Bread in there as well in the Alpine. In P13. Back up to the front though. Tudor has gone. Oh, there's a mistake there from Tudor, and I've seen him clip the wall and lost the front left plate there. So a little bit of drama there for Cooper Trooper, and he's going to drop down into P9, and he's going to drop even further because he's going to have to get that wing change. So a little bit of an incident going on there, but now we've got a nice little three-way battle. Jerabot, Toast, and Ryan. Anyone going to go for the move? Toast doesn't go for the move. They stay where they are. And, yeah, lovely to see so far. Did you manage to get Sick Buddy in?
I sent him an invite. I don't know if he is joined yet, but I did send him an invite, so...
Okay, all good.
Hopefully he doesn't get stuck in communicating with servers purgatory, as we saw that earlier, actually, with... Breadman, who's actually made up 6 positions here tonight. He's up into 13th from starting last on the grid. So still some pretty solid pace here from the Alpine man. He did wonders in the Mercedes last season. Now he is Alpine, and he is trying to chase down Tudor to make it 7 positions gained. And I know we haven't talked a whole lot about Tudor, but Tudor is also made up some really good positions as Nishka is going to go ahead and call it into the pits on those soft tires on lap 9. Formula Echo will join the penalty club. 3 seconds for track limit violations. And so it begins. Formula Echo does have Gangster trying to come up right behind him. So we will see now. It's pretty much on the tricky part of the pass. That was really his best shot for this lap. But we're not even halfway through the race yet, so he still has a good amount of time to make this move happen.
Yeah, no, I'm going to jump back on board with Bread. I want to talk to you about the situation with Alpine TP. Obviously, it was Advart. Now it's moved over to Bread. How do you feel that Bread is going to go taking over Alpine for season 10?
I think because, I mean, a lot of new TPs this season. If you're here for the award show a couple of weeks ago, then you'll know that almost every team has a new TP. And I think it's going to take some adjusting. It's going to be an adjustment period for pretty much all these TPs, even the experienced TPs who are carryovers from last season. So, I mean, there's going to be teething issues, I believe, personally. But I don't think that's going to be specifically a Breadman. I think it's going to be every new TP this season. But I think there is a lot of potential to really see these teams flourish and grow. So there's a lot of potential, but I don't think it's going to be out-of-the-box success for any of these teams, really.
Okay, that's interesting. It is interesting. I'm going to fire that in there. There we go. Fire the old Alpine logo. So that's all we're on board at the moment. Remember, there is a lot of emotes that I have made available, so if you want to get amongst it, get using them. There's a few animated of the Rush ones as well, so get amongst it, use as many emotes as you can, have fun with the chats, and obviously with the channel points as well are changed as well. We've got 11 laps out of 25, and a few changes going on up front there. We're seeing a few guys coming into the pits. A bit of damage there to Cooper Trooper's car. He's still continuing on those hard compound tyres, but does have that front left, which is going to cause him a little bit of problem there. We've seen Nishka deciding to come in. I think he came in early, I think on lap 10, getting onto those hards, and will probably look to go to the end now, so we'll have to wait and see there. Going back up to the front, we're seeing a little bit of a change there, Rekas, as Toast and Lamb and Echo now in P3, and we've seen Jerobot call it early, getting onto those hards. So as it stands at the moment, when Cooper Trooper comes in, Jerobot will be leading this Grand Prix. Currently, he is 20 seconds behind Toast as it stands. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But so far, so good. Quite a few pens as well. 3 for Echo, 3 for Cooper Trooper, 10 for Aben. So that's a pit lane. And then we've got 3 for
Ryan. Ryan spun it.
And that is the problem.
Sorry to cut you off, but yeah, Ryan had a bit of a moment coming out of turn. I think that's turn 15. So yeah, now he's going to call time on those tires.
Yeah, and we're seeing Daniel T also getting a 10-second time penalty as well, so coming way too quickly into the pits as well. And yeah, it will be interesting to see as Formula Echo goes onto those softs. So obviously he's going for the Dido strategy.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, he's going for the Dido strategy from yesterday. So yeah, that's going to be tough. I don't think it's going to work. I think it's going to be too many laps on those tyres. So we'll have to wait and see as Brett gets a 3-second time penalty. And all penalties are already coming into this race here, but we've still got battles going on. I think Sick Party is back in the lobby as well. So we'll have to wait and see at the moment. But yeah.